It's okay, it's Don's. Don't worry about it. Leave it on his back.
Yeah. What's the box?
Easy.
Okay, box
Here, I'll let you take over.
171.
She's got glasses. No.
And then
Two more
the
go.
zip code is 92082.
Okay. That's the same thing Christy said. Two people said the same thing, so we'll trust that. And both of them are young, so. We'll trust those young eyes.
Oh,
Because I just can't see it at all.
Very good eyes.
Give that one a pretty big piece.
You're not in the bifocal.
I want you to know I shell of cons on that.
You have to work to make your own.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
And one eye. One eye fly.
Oh, there's nothing for Butch and Judy up
Do
here.
you guys
Yes, there's none
Just
for
ask
Butch
me
and
to come
Judy.
here a minute, please.
You got, no, you need one.
I
Butch.
don't know if I can get in there.
There you go. That's Judy's.
Oh, I thought, I'm
Butch has
sorry.
one.
I did yours for smart. Dorothy, shame on
There
you.
you go.
I was wrong.
Butch has his. Okay.
Here, you need that till Dee Dee gets here.
Dee
Yep. She may be outside.
Thank you, Butch, that's great.
Well,
Oh, Judy's got one now.
Judy, oh,
And
good.
then Daddy wants
I'll
one.
just
Yeah,
give her-
that's good.
I'm gonna have a corner piece. Give that to the kids. I'll have a corner piece.
okay.
You can
All right, everybody say something interesting because the camera's running.
Something
Don't act normal.
Just
We can sit on the
all
table.
of you
Be on
share,
good behavior.
all of you
That's right,
share
be
some
on good
memories
behavior.
of growing up with. I don't think must be a talk.
Well, find out if they do, and if they do, would you be responsible for passing it out to the kids?
They can have it later if they want.
Dorothy, do you have a childhood memory you can remember? Share with us.
Yes, and she didn't have a baby book.
Yeah, sure. As a matter of fact, Kyle asked.
Well, it's about time you ran away.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's not interfere. Very
Well, let's talk about the bad thing that happened. She returned.
Then she married Carrie, right?
That's right.
Now, Dorothy, when was it you
What
ran
was
away?
that?
Oh, I'm not gonna talk about that.
Dorothy ran away.
I didn't know that. I was gone maybe 5 minutes, if that long. I don't know.
Oh, I think I lasted at least 10.
But, you know what?
I wasn't long about
Got up at the corner and she wasn't out across the street by herself, so she came home.
The truth of the matter is, I got on my tricycle, and I did not get as far as the end of the street. The dog started barking, I got scared to get back. And I was really a big kid if I was on a tricycle, wasn't I?
And then she
Yeah,
comes
she's
in
about
and says,
12.
did y'all miss me?
No way. I'll tell you another time we talk about that. What about the time I didn't run away, but I was left behind?
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
One time I went after you when you ran away. I caught you about two houses over.
I don't
You
remember
ran
that.
away. Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
give
One
a
time,
big push.
Stacy told me she was going to
Yeah.
run away, and I said, well, let me get your suitcase for you.
Yeah. Oh, gee. No, I
She said,
remember.
well, if I wanted her to go, never mind.
I remember Dad.
Yeah, last week after that happened. Judy, I never ran away as a kid, but once I went to the movie, and my folks moved while I was there.
Had to watch Mom and Dad.
They had had it with you.
One time we went to the movie, and we got back, our dog was gone.
When I started saying
They got
about
rid of our
you
dog while we
and
were
the
going to
boys
the
went
movie.
through. Who was they? When I got let go.
Yeah,
they got rid of my dog.
A dog, a dog again, they got rid of the dog. Probably had more dogs
I know.
than they just stick at me like too, like all
No, I
those
think
kids.
the dog was part of it. You and the boys had gone
Your
fishing.
what?
Oh.
And the Campfire girls were doing something, and so they all ended up here loaded up.
Which is coaching that night.
No, but I mean, but that's a child, they're talking about.
Somebody trying to pass it off as
They're trying to
chicken.
break me, I guess.
Didn't
So,
fish what? Yeah, big one.
and
Fish
they
was
got,
strong.
I think 30 miles down the road or so, and it wasn't even May that missed me. Blue Ray Butler.
Blue Ray, watch out for you.
That's right.
That was scary.
Because I was home alone, and I could have got in a lot of trouble. They could have made a movie about me.
They did, they just changed the name.
I would have protected the house, so
Just
that's right.
disappeared, huh?
See, my children probably blaming it on me, and I haven't gotten rid of one cat. John's working on getting rid of them, and Mark has.
Well,
But I haven't run over one.
the thing is, you're supposed to let the sacks of cement set.
Right.
Dorothy, thank you for the letter.
Yes, that's
That was
right.
very good.
Oh.
One thing,
Pass
I
this
do have a
down.
question. What time frame are we talking about for our Christmas celebration? Are we talking about like Saturday evening, Christmas Day, or what are we?
I don't know, I mean, it's
Or do we
really,
need to discuss it, or?
well, I don't know what people's arrangements are, if, you know, if you wanna do some stuff.
That's what we're talking
Friday,
about.
Saturday, I mean, you know.
Christmas is what,
Saturday.
Christmas Day is Saturday,
Yeah.
Christmas Eve is Friday.
Right.
And a lot of people probably have to work Christmas Eve. What's everybody's schedules like?
So we could just start having a gathering
We
and
need to discuss.
and those that are there Christmas Eve night, you know, will be gathered for that and, you know, have Christmas Day together, so it just means what schedules.
You know, we need to kind of see what, like, Christmas, like that night, we'd like to have our
We're
little
going down.
celebration,
When, you know,
Don't know when yet.
whatever.
you be driving,
We'll be there.
how far is it? I mean, I know how far it is. But what
7
city
hours.
is it?
I think
From here, it's
what
about
we may
4
do,
hours. Yeah.
because we're, the kids are, you know, big enough, we're a little cramped in the car, we may rent a van for a couple of days.
I thought you had a van.
Well, that would
Oh,
be
no,
great.
yeah, that was, it hit too many mailboxes.
It what?
It hit too many mailboxes. I didn't tell them who hit the mailbox.
I couldn't see in my.
I assumed it was one of the boys.
I never mentioned that you managed to do it forward as well as reverse.
Ooh, are you gonna? Do you have a wide angle lens on?
Well, I'll tell you what, once you forget the renting, you're on your own Christmas.
Listen, it happened like 4 times, and the 4th time, I mean, all the other times I left notes and I went to the people and told them. The 4th time, I was so tempted to just leave it. Oh, in fact, I think I actually got in and started driving off, and I thought, I can't do this. I can't, I've got to go back. But I thought, I can't go and tell
Mailbox is what
Ernest
it's
again
called.
that I hit another mailbox.
At least
Mailbox?
it was
You
just
know
a
how during
mailbox,
the
a
war,
lot of kids.
they would paint
I know.
up those Japanese flags on the
Right.
side of
She's
the
got
house.
mailboxes on the van. Are mailboxes in the street?
Yeah, well, you mark it off, yeah.
Or they-
Come in
Oh,
and-
God.
Are they off the
Are
street?
they
Actually, they're up next to the doorway. Are they by the next to the front door or something? Yeah, right next to the front door. Got them every time.
Hey, it takes tail to get them without getting the front door.
Yeah.
Who
Now,
said
I-
she didn't?
When we first got married, we lived in, we had our land out in Burleson, and I was
Speak
driving
up,
down
the microphone's over there.
Country road, and on a curve, I ran down a mailbox, and I just felt like I killed something.
Oh, I
I just
know,
picked
it's
up
a
the poor little
sick
thing,
feeling.
you know, and walked to the house and said, I killed your mailbox, I'm so sorry. And they went, oh, people do that all the time. We're on the curve, and nobody knows it. There. I felt so bad.
Judy, Butch's performance just then is like, he's a good guy most of the time.
Well, he's a politician, isn't he supposed to come across looking like that? Isn't that a
Like
class
father,
you take
like
in law
son.
school? Making yourself look good, the other got it bad.
But I've never had any car accidents.
There you
Now, how many have Ernest had?
She only gets non-moving on it.
That's sad. I'm still talking.
Oh, I didn't, I forgot to change tapes.
So you just
No,
take
I
over?
didn't tape.
Were you
over.
taping us?
Oh.
No, I was about to, this is,
It's okay, we-
sent, instead of letters, we sent tapes to
Oh,
Butch.
how great.
Oh,
Did you
okay.
bring
It
something
is,
Not-
to
it
yeah.
really is.
I just finished off this tape, turning it over, put it on the
Is that
spare tape.
microfilm? It's really a Russian agent. I know.
There you go.
You know, and Butch also has tapes that he talks on, and while he's walking through Hyde Park, he leaves it on. You can hear the birds and all, and I mean, he just does a day-by-day thing for us. Well, he was walking across this busy street, and I mean, it was this horrible screech, and it sounded like, you know, and the tape's still going, and then afterwards, you know, it was kind of quiet for a minute, and then it comes back on and says, Mom, I almost got hit by this car. Lori, is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lori.
Yeah. Says, I almost got hit, and I mean, my heart's beating fast. This is horrible.
That's what it only went over my
You
foot.
got it, you knew you wasn't hit.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, there was dead silence for a while. You know, nothing.
You know,
And there's only a crack in the case of the tape, so
You
you're
know what the
wondering.
problem is? He hasn't been there long enough, and I'm serious, because every time you step off the curb, you're gonna cross the street, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I go like this and no.
Oh, this one.
I take a look like this, and the next thing I realize, I gotta look this way, because I'm driving the outside street.
Yeah, that's
Every time you step off the curb, you look the wrong way if
That's
you're
right.
American.
That's right. And he was saying
I
that
can't know which way to look. If they get used to it,
Yeah,
you look the wrong way.
Then he'll come back to the United States and almost take two of us.
You're supposed to look both ways before you cross.
Yeah, but you look the way where they're gonna come get you first. And then you look at I looked 3 times actually. I looked this way, that way, I looked this way in case something came on.
Well,
that
or
way.
in case you forgot whether you had looked that way before.
Just like I put in my contact lens, I put my right one in first, and then the hand that's left must be the left eye, so then I put the right one in.
Or you can label. Works for me.
Oh, but
That's the only way I can remember.
hey, Butch, we are at the dinner table. It's November the 14th. It's Pa's 65th birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday, happy birthday, sin and sorrow everywhere, people dying in despair. Happy birthday, oh happy birthday.
Did you get the picture, son? Oh yeah. Who wants to send a message? It's going. It's live. It's a live round.
Hi, Butch. Wish we were there with you to enjoy all that beautiful countryside. And us, we're down here where it's nice and warm. Sorry.
Damn,
Good to talk to you though.
Hi, Butch. It's Aunt Dorothy. We're looking forward to coming for Christmas, but we're sorry that you can't be there with us. We'll certainly be thinking about you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, Butch, this is Gene. I was in London once for 3 days. When you step off the curb, walk in the right direction. Save your life, buddy. Hi, Butch. We're glad that you're there in England, London, having a good time, where we're here in the miserable United States. No, we're proud of you. You have a great time over there.
Hi, Butch, this is Cindy. Take care.
Hi, Butch, this is Judy. We miss you. We're gonna look forward to seeing you again soon.
Tell them what we had to eat.
He's lost 15 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He has.
Yeah, there's food.
I found it.
Now, Paul found your 15 pounds. Hi, this is Aunt Linda. And I wanted to advise you a good cheap place to eat. Harrod's Department Store.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, down in the basement and just all over. They have all these little eating places. But you can go to the like deli kind of place down in the
Food
basement.
court.
In the food court and buy just anything you want, and it's really neat. Of course, that one place to eat it has to be. Take it back home with you. Hi, Butch. This is Aunt Nancy. We missed you here. We're having a great time. Almost the whole family is together. I'm sure all the teenagers and young adults and all of them are missing you. They're asking about you. Everybody's having a good time though, and thinking about times that we've had before. Wish you were here, but I'm glad that you're there doing what you need to do and enjoying it. See you later. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is the mystery voice.
Yes, sir, this is.
And you can guess who this is. You win a month of free dancing lessons.
But you have to come in full work together. Da, 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 da.
Jeopardy there?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was a Jeopardy.
The question is,
No.
who is the mystery voice? The
That's
bonus
what
question
we're doing for
is,
Thanksgiving.
who cares?
Maybe mine did not land there. It landed here.
But they said in Canada they have one.
Yeah,
Do
but
they
not
have
the same
4th of
day.
July in England?
Canada is
Do
America.
they have the 4th of July?
Not only that, they also Hey, listen, we've got the video camera going, so let's see if we can win $10,000. Would somebody fall over or something?
Oh, their story is
I do have a great
If you
story.
give Don
If I could have only had the video camera going. A great story. I
Her
really
story
think
is a great story, isn't it?
if the video camera had been going, I know I could have won.
Okay.
Which one was that?
Well, this was Easter time. Gene loves me to tell this story.
Speak up loud, there's a microphone.
This was Easter time. And of course, we're still in Wisconsin and the weather is still very cold. And we have a swimming pool and we'd been closed for the winter, but it had frozen, for the winter. So Easter,
So you could ice
we
skate.
pulled it, no, we had a pond we ice skated on. You pull the cover off and here was all this ice
6
covering the
inches
pool.
thick.
6 inches thick, yeah. So it starts to kind of break up, but you've
You
got
can be like-
floating, huge logs of ice in there.
Ice
So
floes.
we've been out there, and I had a stick, and I was pushing down these big blocks of ice periodically to help it to melt away somewhat.
Break them
Does
up.
that help
break
it
them up.
melt if you push
Oh,
it
if you
down?
break them
pushing
up.
down,
Break
break
them
them
up.
up, make them smaller.
Yeah.
So Gene says, don't do that, don't do that, you're gonna hurt your back, and besides, you might fall in.
Oh, no,
Oh,
I get it.
no.
I see it coming.
Gene gets the pole, and he's going, all of a sudden,
And I had been doing it for 2 days, but still.
here
this
he goes, he's in the water. Now,
Oh.
How did he get in
Now,
the
wait a minute.
water?
Now, wait a minute.
It was
I
difficult.
hit it, and what happened?
the-
I
it
lost
broke.
balance, right?
It broke.
And I wasn't just in the water.
I'm not through.
You said I was in already. I'm not in yet.
So,
He's not in yet.
so he pushes it, and it breaks, and so he loses balance, he falls in. Now, Gene has great reflexes, and it's like, have you ever seen a cat that's about to hit
Gene has
water?
great
Yeah.
reflexes.
And so, like the cat that's about to hit water, as he's going into the water, he's already flipping around
All right.
To get out.
to get out,
All
because
right.
he's over by the ladder. So he goes in, the top of his head doesn't even get wet.
All right.
So, this part is,
keep his
he
glasses
didn't mess
on?
up his hair, heaven forbid.
Yeah, they
So-
stayed out.
As
As I went in, I just twisted, grabbed the ladder going down.
He
I
was
was
already
up.
coming out
I was
before he
out.
went in the water.
Wow.
But it was great. And he gets out of the water and I started
And so then you're
laughing. He's
still
going,
poking around the ice, right?
It's not funny. I couldn't help but laugh. And here's Gene, Mr. Strellis, he said, that water's damn cold.
Who was out at Lake Worth with us when I had that little
Your
boat
pontoon
deal?
boat?
Yeah,
Pontoon?
pontoon boat and turned over in it in about April or May,
Oh.
March,
Oh,
or
yeah.
April.
Oh, yeah.
Who was out there?
Weren't you seat
Oh, wait,
belted
wait,
onto
here.
it? Didn't you have a seat belt on?
Let's let Butch share on this. Go ahead. I think Butch has heard it before. You're talking about the time that the pontoon boat
Had that little
slipped.
pontoon boat.
Yeah,
that
go-
made
go.
the first pontoon boat, and it just took it out to Lake Worth. It's cold.
Tell him what you made. We
Uh,
know, but he doesn't. Gene doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
no,
he
Dad
does.
probably doesn't.
Pontoons made out of plywood with a seat that was upright, and then that little paddle wheel, just like you paddle cars.
It's
They
low.
had paddle wheels. Got it out there, and it was just too darn small, and it turned over with me in the cold water. Yeah, who all was there?
Remember the time that
Yeah.
Eddie was there too,
The
though.
kids
Oh, well, that was a different
Was then the only
pontoon
one
boat.
on it?
That
Oh,
had
you're
two
talking about.
boats.
No, it's just a
testing it.
And then you built another one.
Yeah, I built a big one.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the time it rained real hard, so the front street flooded? And Butch, you may not have been, you probably worked. Butch and I struggled to get that pontoon boat out to the front yard, to the
Oh,
street.
this one
We
was
struggled
flooded.
and struggled and struggled. Finally, we got out there, and by the time we got the paddle boat out, and we sat on it, the water had already gone down.
But remember what happened that same day when the street in front of the house was flooded?
Hmm.
And this was before they'd put in the
Drain,
new
yeah.
drainage system, and the street, the house was higher above the street than it is now.
Yeah.
And remember when
The
it was
street was
Herbie
higher.
and Mike
Yeah,
Fry
with
got
water
out there
ski
and
down the
somebody
street.
else behind the car, and they water skied down Miller Street.
I remember that. And then after they, well, of course, they cut off our driveway when they lowered the street.
Yes.
They cut half the driveway off, I think.
Right.
So we had that slope going up to it so they could have a lower street. They put in all the drainage ditches. And then was it Halloween, Dorothy? When you were walked down to the dead end part of the street and fell in the storm?
Oh my
got
God,
stuck
that
on
was
it.
years later.
When we had the drain, before they put the sewer in front of the house, there was a big dip there for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
We'd ride our bikes in,
The old
go down
sludge
there, and then
box.
you come up there and crash back down.
Yeah, and that was when, nowadays if they're doing road work someplace, they have these flashing yellow lights.
Yeah, they would have the smudge
Back
pots.
then, they had the smudge pots, and they were like,
Come listen to
Of
some of
what?
these anecdotes.
they were about 8 inches or so in
Yeah, like
diameter.
cannonballs.
Yeah, well,
Cannonballs.
a flattened out cannonball,
Right.
kind of, with a wick on
Right.
top, with a big flame.
Right.
And that's how what they would have by the side of it. They had those they had those smudge pots out by that, where they were putting the sewer line in front of our house by the big ditch. So not only were we taking our bikes and riding down and up that, it was to the glorious glow of the smudge pot.
You
light
remember
at
what
night.
year that was?
What year was that?
57.
Here we go.
That was 57.
Yeah.
Tommy.
And we would play with some
It was a year after we had moved here. We moved here in
We're making
56,
the tape,
April
everybody saying hi, and
17th,
we're
56.
telling stories on the tape.
And I remember the driveway when they changed the street, you know, and you were going to cut off the driveway, and it's not, you took
And we
your
loved that yard, we would run our tricycles on it.
blade or
On your
whatever it
regular,
was.
on your regular 7-inch saw, you burn the motor up on the saw.
Yeah,
I mean, the motor smoking. Was
Right
that about
at the
57?
driveway, the end of it, and then it was gonna have not this nice even cut, so the end of the driveway would be nice and flush, right, Paul?
It broke crooked.
And-
And it broke crooked. We had the ugliest driveway.
But all the neighbors were so
recut it
sad, because
later.
everybody, we all
Didn't you
drove
try to
our
get- didn't
tricycles on the driveway,
front
and
end
they
loader
all
pick
drove
it
their
up or
tricycles on the
something?
driveway.
And it broke it?
And, so we didn't have a,
I remember that, I remember that saw smoking. Burn the motor up on that power saw.
Boy, I don't remember
When I
that
was 6
stuff.
years old.
you were a
Well, you
little
were a little
kid.
younger.
You were probably a baby.
12 is in 57.
57, so you were only 4.
I was prep 4 because my 57 at the end of the year is when I would turn 5.
Yeah, you
Well,
probably
I
couldn't
know
run a
this was
tricycle
in
on.
summer of 57, late summer when they did
And
it.
remember when, what year was it I built the soapbox derby car?
Oh, I remember that.
You were 12 or
About
13,
About 62
61 or 2.
or
61.
3 or something like that.
Right, and we did that, and then for, gosh, I don't know, a couple of years anyway, you and I, you know, would hook up a rope, and one of us would tow it behind a bicycle up to the top of the hill, the end of the street, and then ride it down, we'll always see who could get the farthest down the street
Do you
without
remember
having to
when,
brake.
when they were doing that ditch work and the storm sewer and all that, they left Caterpillar sitting here one weekend out there on the road, you know, off the side of it?
Yeah.
I got up on it and started it up.
All right, who wants to tell the story about the mannequin we used to
Well,
have
that's
in the
further,
game?
that's
That was,
further. We're still in the
I was
early
in high school by
years.
that time.
Oh, no, you were in college.
Well, remember about 1963, when Dad first drove home the 61 Cadillac?
Yeah.
We sat at that window and
Waiting.
it was snowing outside, waiting for, we knew Dad was coming home with this car. We watched, every car that's coming up, we'd watch, it wasn't Dad. Next car, no, it wasn't Dad. We wait, remember it was snowing outside, you remember that? We drove up that 61 Cadillac.
I remember the
Big red
58,
bow.
the first
Station
station wagon we got, Arctic White, the silver hood Arctic White.
That wasn't the first one.
Well,
I-
it was our new one. so I
Last
said,
week
we
in
thought it was-
Mexico
a
City,
new 50,
I saw a
Oh, really?
55 with that
55
same
Oh, we
color
didn't remember
scheme.
that. This was the one we were old enough to appreciate.
On the streets of
Sorry, we missed
Mexico
that one.
City.
I remember the truck.
It wasn't
were
a-
I
involved
saw
in
a 58 Chevy with that
Yeah.
same color scheme on the streets in Mexico City last week. I'm serious, I did.
But I remember the pickup
It wasn't a
truck.
station
Did it
wagon.
have a sign that said, no ranch, just kids? Yeah. Y'all probably don't remember all of us riding in a pickup truck.
In the
Dad,
back, you mean?
no, in
Or
the
front?
cab. When we were little, we all had to ride in the cab of the pickup truck.
Studebaker?
We were just so
Probably, I had a Ford and a
Luckily,
Chevy
we weren't
earlier.
What, Dad?
It
I had a
was.
Ford and a Chevy earlier.
In the Studebaker?
Before the
Is that what
Studebaker.
started the craze of
Studebaker
cramming the
was-
VWs?
In
You probably weren't even born
61.
yet.
Was it?
The thing I remember most about that Studebaker
Well, you
is
may
the
have been.
seats always smelled of and felt of horsehair.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
old,
yeah,
that
those
old
horse
musty
seats.
smell, older cars
Uh-huh.
had, yeah,
Uh-huh.
it had that.
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah,
can
we
take it
had a
over to
new
my
car
player
in
piano. We got some
53,
real
a
old
53
songs.
Chevy.
We're talking about old things here.
And then they came out with V8s in 55, and I just had to have, we only had 30,000 miles on that 53 sedan. I just had to have a V8, so we bought a V8 station wagon.
You know, I was trying to remember when I was in Mexico last weekend. I was trying to remember when was it that we took the 2 trips that the family took to Mexico? What years?
First one was about
I just remember the last one.
63.
The last one?
The first one was 63.
Let's
Let's
We
see,
were 10
okay,
on
we
one
had
of
the
them.
Cadillac.
No, the first one we were in the station wagon.
That's right,
The first
that's
was station
right.
wagon. We were 10.
That
Nancy
station
and I were
wagon
10.
had a,
I got
had a
Of course,
tire
they were the
between
first one.
motor and
No,
soft
the last
wheel,
one.
had a tire go flat.
And you were so
Right.
sure that guy in Nuevo Laredo had repaired
Really
it better
busy.
than any
Oh,
other spot.
He was a craftsman.
What,
You told him that,
Let's set the stage here. What year was it? Took the trip to?
Storytellers going
What?
here. We got some good storytellers.
Eight
I'm not a good
station
storyteller.
wagon, that's been, car
was brand new.
frankly new.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was thinking.
We were
That's
10.
been
It was
summer
58.
'58.
Yeah.
Summer of '58. Okay.
Anyway,
Whatever. But we
were
were in
going to
the
Monterey.
we drove down all the way to Nuevo Laredo. You had a flat tire
At the border.
and the new car there at the border probably
Yeah.
picked up.
No.
No.
You're
Had-
Well, see, we were
okay,
kids.
you're
We don't
missing
remember.
it.
We're in the
All right.
Okay, you
Don't
tell
pick
us.
it up from there.
Okay, the road between Nuevo Laredo and Monterey was out for some reason. We went down up the Rio Grande to Rosarito or Rosa or Rose, some town by that name where the next bridge was, and that's where we had the flat as we
Okay.
get across the border, and that's where we had the tire fixed.
We didn't cross at Nuevo Laredo?
No, we didn't
Okay.
because the road was out into Monterey.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
Anyway,
It was
we
only
drove
8
on
years
that
old.
other road to Monterey,
Now, what,
and then
well, wait, but first, so you had the flat fixed
had the
there.
flat
and
fixed there, and I thought the guy was such a good craftsman
Oh,
because he was
yeah.
fixing
And
that
then he was
tubeless tire
bragging and
with.
bragging on him.
Yeah.
And yeah, you came back. Mom was concerned about whether the tire had been fixed well, and you said, "Oh, this guy was so great. He did a better job than if I'd taken it to a Chevy dealer."
Yeah,
or
didn't you give him like his
something
kids
like that."
candy and food or something?
No,
Or
no,
was that the
no.
one?
no,
Okay.
that's the next
So
one.
he had just a little
Okay.
tire
Okay.
shop.
We
So
went from,
so we got back on the road with the fixed tire.
we were going from Monterey to Saltillo,
Yeah, I remember
and we
Saltillo.
were gonna spend the night in Saltillo. And about halfway there in the middle of nowhere, that tire went flat. Well, there was a shack over
Yeah,
there right in
shack.
the back, and then we gave that guy's kids
That's the
candy
guy.
and gum.
And
I
he's the
remember
one that
he
had the
wanted to
kids.
help change the tire, which I didn't need any help, but I gave him some money.
Didn't they put a
Yeah.
tube in the tubeless tire?
No, we just put the spare on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he was the one that I remember, but his shack, over just off the road, his kids were running around the shack with no clothes on
Right.
whatsoever. Yeah, I remember
I was
that.
thinking- They had a
this
shirt
trip
on
had
and that
anything
was
to do
all.
with NAFTA?
No, had nothing to do with that. So we went on there. So that was the first trip to Mexico, and then the second trip would have been '63 then?
Nancy got
Something like that.
Malay
That's
sauce.
when Nancy got hepatitis.
Was it
See,
heavy?
it was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was
I thought she was sick.
You came down with hepatitis, but
I
while we
never
were
had
down in
hepatitis.
Mexico
I
the
thought it was
second time, Butch came down with kissing disease
You
in
mean I had
Monterey.
hepatitis twice?
Ha!
I came down with the kissing
Yeah.
disease in
Yeah.
Monterey.
Oh,
You
tell
did.
me more. You've got my
We took you to
curiosity
the
now.
hospital in Monterey
I thought that was Nancy.
Sunday morning.
too.
No, it's
I-
him.
Yeah, refresh. Okay, this is, I forgot.
And
Oh,
there were
How old
people
were you?
lined up,
Oh, yeah.
waiting for treatment. They just took us right up to the front and thinged him and said it was a kissing disease. And anyway, they wouldn't take any money or anything, but they put us ahead of everybody. And
So who did
we
you
headed on
kiss?
back. And then Nancy got sick on the way back.
On the way back.
To,
Okay.
and about halfway to Laredo, we stopped in some little place,
That Malay
and
sauce.
Nancy just had to go
Yeah.
to the back.
Oh,
there.
Malay
I was throwing up and
Yeah, and we
throwing
got
up.
back
You know, and I
to
won't- I still
Nuevo
don't
Laredo
know.
and took her
Cramping.
to the
I
doctor.
just
Yeah.
I
She
ate
got
Malay
terribly
sauce.
sick of Malay
Like
sauce.
chicken with Malay
I
sauce.
just
And
never
Mother
ate
kept
it.
saying, it's not that, it's the fruit salad. And I kept saying,
Well-
it's not the fruit salad. It's the
See, I remember the fruit
I could
salad.
taste it.
Anyway.
got all this Sunday?
I will not have that.
I'm sure glad dinner's over.
What's the kissing disease called? It's
Mononucleosis.
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 Yeah.
I had forgotten all about that. I remember vaguely since you mentioned it being in that hospital there. Yeah.
It's
I
a
was
wonder
thinking
that I
it was
remember
Nancy
because there's a
that
lot of
took
stuff
the
I
So
don't
how
know.
many did you
No.
I remember walking into the
Because
hospital.
Nancy, the hospital
You're
in
not
Laredo.
Well,
serious.
okay. I remember walking into the hospital and some men
Ask
came
him
up and
who I
said
was
something and I
kissing.
said, no
He was
habla
so sure it was a
español,
kissing
and
Some
just
disease.
laughed
little
her heads off at
senoritas
me.
there.
I felt self-conscious about that.
He's been kissing some of these senoritas.
You know, you don't have to kiss to get somebody.
No, but as long as you're gonna have it, you might as well.
was
That's right.
Insurance
What
coverage.
year was that?
63, you said? 63? 63? 62? What
The-
is
So
it?
much for this.
Second
Last-
trip?
I thought it was
think
your
let's
freshman
see,
year in
what
high
were
school.
we
We're
in?
going to
We were in
Cadillac. Yeah.
It's about
61
63
Cadillac,
or
oh,
thereabouts.
seven.
Yeah, I think I was
Okay, I was
younger
thinking
than
that was
13.
the
I would have thought it was.
We had, okay, on our way down,
Keep some girls and Don.
we went down to,
Huh?
Yeah,
Galveston.
And I had that for a
You had
long
a
time.
nice.
headed south there to Corpus Christi, and we had
I
a
still
wheel
have
brand
the
new
I still have my
Discovery and
Silverado.
stopped at the Cadillac house in Corpus Christi.
The each had a dollar. We each had a dollar, so we traded it into 12.
I was amazed because they didn't really give you some very reasonable.
And you must have had the nice one because you got the expensive
I got the expensive sombrero and the serape.
Yeah.
That was on the first trip down there that we got the
Yeah, when we were
sombrero.
10, that's when we got the Marathas. Yeah.
Yeah, because you, on some of the old family Super 8 movies.
Okay, do y'all remember in Southfield?
Yeah.
I think it's Butch and Nancy, but I'm not sure. Their shoe shine boy wanted to shine their shoes,
Yeah.
You had tennis shoes on?
and he shined one shoe for a nickel. And what about the other? Oh, that'd be $1.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about?
There's still shoe shine people down there. I saw them last week.
Oh, what about they're cleaning the windows for you too?
Oh, yeah.
Dirty
Last
cloths.
weekend, Butch.
Huh?
What were you doing there last
Yeah.
weekend?
Well, I wasn't supposed to tell Judy. No, I was down there with the congressional delegation regarding NAFTA, and we went down. This is the first time I've been on an official congressional delegation someplace, and they have, you know, you see like when it's Air Force One, you know, that kind of blue paint scheme that says United States of America. We were on. It wasn't Air Force One. It was a smaller jet than that, but we were on a jet.
Well, Air Force One is the one the president's in.
I know.
He was
I know.
in that one.
That's
That's
right.
later.
You're
That
right.
comes
But
later.
I'm saying it's not like the one that's typically used as Air Force One. So anyway, there were what, about 10 of us, and we flew down there.
Can you do
And of
what?
course, it's, you know, military crew, but they have it, you know, outfitted like a commercial jet, except the front, it even has kind of like a little lounge area in the front, and all the seats are like first class seats as far as the size, and they have the stewardesses, and, you know, they're solicitous, let me say, put it that way. You know, they take care of you.
They were soliciting you? You
I
don't.
don't mean it that way.
He
But-
said he got you on a time too.
Anyway, so we went down first to Laredo.
Remember your
and,
wife was sitting there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it might
Was this
sound
a,
bad.
the U.S. government?
Yes, this was their official
Remember,
delegation.
was we were at the same
So we went
hotel
to,
with him?
well, you're
Shoes,
getting a step
scores.
ahead, yeah.
Like what?
But we went to Laredo, and then and they had, you know, different city people meet us there, and they drove us across to Nuevo Laredo and looked at some of the Theodores
You have a good
and
idea what you want to
at the sewage treatment facility they're building there, and different things, and went back and we took through some of the customs set up there.
How many of y'all were there?
There were about 10 members of Congress, and then
Who was we?
probably about an equivalent
All
number of staff people.
It's really funny.
So then we got back home and flew down to Mexico City, and we had a dinner then that Friday night at the ambassador's residence. Jim Jones, who's from Oklahoma, is the ambassador to Mexico, and so we had dinner with us and different business people that were down there that Friday night, and then on Saturday we met with some of the cabinet officers in Mexico, the finance minister and the commerce minister. And then later we went to Los Pinos, which is the Mexican White House, and met with President Salinas. What Judy was trying to say, the hotel we were staying in, the Stouffer's El Presidente, it's like 40-something stories. But we were there on, what, the 38th and 39th floors, and Michael Jackson was up on 41 or
Could you
whatever,
hear him
seriously.
stomping around practicing his dances?
Moonwalk.
Moonwalk.
But,
Yeah, that's what I was trying to
so
think
did
of.
that, you know, I've never been to Mexico City before.
It's huge
Oh,
and
it's what,
enormous.
it-
You fly over
about like
forever
25
before
million
you ever
people.
land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, I mean, because it's both in the tropics and, you know, over 7,000 feet, you'll have a palm tree next to a pine tree.
Wow.
There.
It's really
Kind of like
neat.
Quito, Ecuador.
Yeah, Quito.
Could be, I haven't, you know, I've never been to South
Palm
Palm.
tree.
This is the farthest south I've ever been.
But that's
But-
a 12,000.
You know, 9.
But, you know, just a huge city. And,
About it was 12.
did those
You're
things
right,
and,
you're right. About
you know, met with different people, and one of the people that I, you know, got to know and so forth, his name is Claudio Gonzalez, and he's with Kimberly Clark on that. He's the CEO of their Mexican operation, and then he's on the national board for USA.
Right.
But anyway, he's brought his kids in, so you can say his family, but it's really, he owns the Hard Rock Cafes.
Oh.
She brought this, they've got, what, 5 or 6 of them now, and
Yeah,
they just
ask
opened
how
in
long you
Mexico
stayed
City.
out to the Hard Rock Cafe.
I'm
How long was
coming
you out
to it.
there? Come
Judy.
on.
One step at a time. So,
Don't be about the glory.
yeah, anyway, so after the dinner Saturday night, he took us over to the Hard Rock Mexico City, which was near our hotel, and they'd just opened. In fact, Michael Jackson had been there Friday night. And a big media thing there. I know, we kept missing him. But, so, you know, we were his guest at the Hard Rock there, and I got back, I was there, several others stayed longer. I think I got back to the hotel, I forget if it was 2 or 2:30 in the morning there. But, oh, it's a big Hard Rock.
You didn't go, did you?
No.
Just an
Did you
incredible
run into?
computerized sound system and all. And they had not only, you know, the records and the music videos they would play, but about like 12:30 at night they brought in a live band, which was just superb.
Did you run into a situation like I did down in Mexico one time? About 3 o'clock in the morning, there was knocking on my door, motel room door. Just knock, knock, knock. Open this door, open this door. Well, I tried to ignore it. This woman. She just kept on knocking on the door. Open this door, unlock this door, open this door. Finally, after about 10 minutes of that, I got tired of it and got up and unlocked the door and let her out.
Who were some of the other?
The others that went, Bill Emerson from Missouri, David Dreyer from California, Mike Kopetsky from Oregon, Henry Bonilla from South Texas was there for part of it, Joe Barton from Ennis,
See, I told you.
Peter Hoekstra from Michigan, Tim Hutchinson from Arkansas, who am I forgetting on the members? Or one or two others, I
That
think.
was interesting. Now, who was this Henry who from South Texas?
Bonilla,
Oh, Bonilla. That's not the man that, from,
Corpus.
yeah.
No, he's from San Antonio.
His wife is,
Debbie.
Liz Broadcaster, sharp.
A couple of the big kids are planning to go get ice cream, and I understanding that you said no, they couldn't go, yours couldn't go.
And
You had talked.
then they were asking me to go to a movie, and I said no.
You talked to a movie. I hadn't heard the thing
Well,
about
it's
the
now
ice
been
cream.
changed to
the
ice
ice cream.
cream.
Okay.
Because I told them they couldn't go to a movie till I knew which movie and what time and all that.
Are they going to Brahms?
I don't know. I just know now it's been changed to ice cream. And they're all afraid to ask you, so I'm
Yeah.
asking you.
The
what-
movie.
The movie will be. If they want to go with the others, get an ice cream, they can go get an ice cream.
Maybe,
They
but
might
you
get
do know
time.
they don't intend to take everybody.
Oh, they
Well, there's
don't?
no way everybody, well, there's no way
they
you
don't
could.
intend to take
Wait a
everybody.
minute.
They intend to take
Christy's
the
car.
select
Christy's
few,
car, you can
big
take
students.
I mean, you can load them in the back end. I see that since I moved to Texas. I can load them in pickups, right?
Yeah, not as much as you used to. It's illegal now. If you're under 12,
Houston, buddy.
well, the law's the same.
The law's the same, but they load
Yeah.
them pickups.
Load those kids in pickups.
Yeah.
Got the lawnmowers in the back end.
How many dogs you can cram back in there?
Yeah.
You don't see
No, I'm
many
not
dogs
talking
riding
to gardeners. No, I mean, when they come into the neighborhood.
You want to open some presents?
Well, of course.
Well, why don't we
I haven't
clear the
seen
dishes
it.
so he's
Yeah.
got
Yeah, we
to
can
do
bring
it?
it out.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go out and see what the weather's done.
Yeah, right.
I've been
And
sitting here
pollute the air a
pacing.
little more.
I've been sitting here pacing.
Hey, I saw in Mexico City what that does to a place.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Where y'all gonna go?
Big time smile.
Yep.
Take it out and set it.
Where are you trying to go? You're only gonna be there. That's it. And I need to know where you're just depend on where you darn well put.
I mean, we go
Hey,
get
that's-
ice